Joey B, man, with stats in hand, spilling numbers like grains of sand. Fantasy talking about diamond dreams, chasing players, whispering their schemes. Oh, Welsh, breaking it down real slow, voices howling in the radio's glow. Talking monsters on the baseball field, wizards swinging bats and magic shields. Fantasy baseball in the night, podcasters giving us that sight. Question marks and stars collide, dreams of glory never hide.
Welcome in, everybody, to FantasyPros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P, Joe P's of P. With me is the Welsh, and of course, it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, here on our Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. That's where you can watch us live. And remember, every month you got to resub up so you can stay with us here live every Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time. The NFL draft took a lot out of me this weekend. I had a tournament game to coach. I had rec league starting for football to coach. Welsh had his dance competitions, which, by the way, his feet are killing him. It's been a wild weekend. I'm almost looking forward to just getting back in the groove of just doing shows, Welsh. I got to tell you.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I was gone out of town. I feel discombobulated trying to figure out baseball. We're going to also talk about it. Like, I was able to escape for a tiny bit from the dance competitions to give everybody some baseball news, but I'm ready for a normal week. I'm ready for home run calls. I'm ready for the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, and I'm ready for everything else in between. Let's get back to normal, please.
Friday, by the way, that video that Michael Cowie put together with your Salvo and Garrett Crochet back at Meyer was pretty spectacular. It was pretty awesome. Look at
I watched it live, by the way. I was at the hotel for the competition, and I watched it live, and I was smiling like a big stupid idiot in the middle of everybody, just having the best time. Yeah.
So well done. B Wallace, morning everyone, first time viewer, normally on YouTube, 1.5 kind of speed guy. The fellas sound a little more like a normal, like sedative kind of thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna be a little bit more. Not quite. I mean, we could do 1.5 speed, but I just don't have it in me today. I got to be honest. It's a long weekend of doing stuff.
I've been pretty on the record about this. I am massively anti speeding up podcasts. I know some people want it because it's like, hey, I want to get through. I like listening to people normally, and I invest my people I got to get through multiple podcasts. There's no chance I'm listening to something at 1.5 or you two psychopaths. It is straight, clear audio. I'm also an audiophile. You guys are crazy. All
right, let's get to the news because there's a lot. We got to start with the big news over the weekend, which is Logan Gilbert heads to the 15-day IL with a right elbow flexor strain. So he had an MRI. They revealed the strain after leaving Friday's game. He's going to be out of action for at least a couple weeks. Now, typically, it's going to be longer than that. This is a minimum kind of situation I think we're dealing with here. So Logan Evans could be a guy. Emerson Hancock, a guy who's going to stick, I think, in that rotation for a while longer. He had a pretty good recent start. So this is really tough here for the Mariners because they don't have a lot of margin for error. This is a team that is built around that pitching staff. The offense is still okay at best at times. And for fantasy managers, it costs you a very high pick. And here we go again, a very high pick where you miss out on your offense. And now you have the pitcher who is on the IL. So recommendations, first of all, for filling that gap for Logan Gilbert, which is impossible because you can't replace him. But what do you think the Mariners are going to do to replace him? And in the meantime, what are you trying to look at long-term in terms of how long you think Gilbert is going to be out? And if we're going to see him again this year?
I think we're going to see him again this year, but you know what? That's me being a little Pollyanna optimistic because, the stuff with Snell doesn't look good and we're already here, guys. It's not even May 1st, and we're already into stacking up big picture injuries that have full season ramifications. I think Logan Evans is the guy that they're going to go with. A big pitch mix, 6 different pitches that he throws. He's not a big strikeout guy. Had some walk problems in this one, but induced a lot of weak contact. Guys were not able to pull the ball on him in that first start, and I think they're going to work off of that. So I think Logan Evans is going to be the Mariners replacement. But to your point, I think in most, in a 10-man league, it sucks, but there are guys out there. Casey Myers is probably still out there. In a 12 and 15 team league, I'm not sure that there's anybody that you can put your hat on. I will tell you this: the guy that we're going to talk about in the prospecting with the Welsh in a little bit is probably the best high-end option pitcher of availability out there. You're probably better streaming right now. We got a lot of things we do here on this show and on the cycle with some of our videos on the YouTube channel you guys should watch. For streaming, that's probably going to be your best option to replace anything close to something like Logan Gilbert, because I don't think there's anybody else out there that is floating around. And we're already a little past, Joey, the really like aggressive pitchers that we were able to get in the waivers over the last couple of weeks. We're in like a stalling period of guys available.
Yeah, you're waiting for more injuries to hit with more guys coming back. Wasn't the only pitcher, by the way, Logan Gilbert, who got hurt this weekend. Tyler Glasnow, shoulder issue, was pulled from Sunday start. 1 inning, discomfort in the shoulder. So, Welsh, here we go again. Tyler Glasnow, always an issue. His frustrations were palpable. There's no doubt about that. You could tell he was very frustrated after the game. I guess he's trying to make adjustments to stay healthier, and these adjustments he's making to stay healthier are leading to injuries, or so he's saying. So, I don't know, Welsh. I know this, that last year I had Glasnow in a keeper league situation, and I dealt him. I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. I can't do it. I just, it's constantly just banging your head against the wall. It's the same thing every single season with this guy. Enormous talent. When he's on the field, he's so good. But at the same time, he's just not making enough starts every single year. And he's killing you because you're putting him in weekly lineups, and the next thing you know, he's not making the starts, and then he's missing significant periods of time. So Glasnow, let me put it to you this way. Redraft leagues already know it's going to be another, year of peaks and valleys. You hope at least you get some peaks this year. But what about long-term keeper value right now of Glasnow?
I think there's got to be bigger questions to it. He's kind of a kryptonite guy for me, massively talented, but they've got that injury marker that's kind of tied over them. I will say, though, things have looked weird this year. You were mentioning his frustration. He's been pretty outwardly about when they changed the grip, when they got rid of some of the grip stuff and, letting them manipulate grips, that helped injuries, that helped pitchers avoid some injuries. And now that they're having to press onto the ball harder, that was going to lead to more injuries. So, he's a pretty vocally open guy about it. But this year, strikeouts were down, walks were way up. He was giving up a ton of crazy contact. And maybe that was just the beginning workings of the injury that's going on. But yeah, I think this is a really good stark reminder of dynasty value does have to come back quite a few notches. I got a dynasty update coming this week, not only on my Patreon, but here on Fantasy Pros, you guys can check out. And he's going to have to take a nice little dip because as great and talented as he is, he's an older pitcher. He keeps stacking on the injuries. That's the thing I do sometimes. I'm like, all right, yes, they got injured, but can they do it this year? There's only so many times we can be fooled until we've got to kind of take a step back. Plus the talent and the overall stuff kind of backtrack a tiny bit this year. So I think he's on, I don't want to call it a free fall, but it's a pretty big fall.
Oh, I think it might be. Let's take a question here from El Ciba Cruz. I got 2 empty spots on my roster, plus Glasnow on the IL, Strider and Logan Gilbert as well. Wow, what a theoretical pitching staff that would have been.
Could have been amazing.
I wonder if I should get rid of Glasnow for any of the waiver wire pitchers. Mize, Robbie Ray, Quintana, Joe Ryan, or even Tyler McGill. Now, I know McGill was great. Joe Ryan had a big performance. We'll mention that later in the show. And pick up another pitcher on the top of that. Also, I have Dylan Moore, Nico Horner, and Gavin Lux for Andres Jimenez. Let's do thoughts on that deal first, and then we'll go backtrack to the pitchers. Dylan Moore, Nico, and Gavin Lux for Andres Jimenez. What side?
Dylan Moore, Nico. I would take Dylan Moore, Nico. Oh, so wait, is it one of them? It's Moore, Horner, or Lux
I'm sorry.
for Jimenez?
Horner or Gavin Lux and Dylan Moore for Jimenez.
I would give up Lux for Jimenez. Pretty easy.
Yeah, Lux
Dylan Moore
for Jimenez, I'm fine with.
Yeah, Dylan Moore, maybe they're kind of like one and the same. Maybe not Nico. I think that's relatively even. On the Glasnow thing, in a redraft, I think you probably could make the move off of it, and I think it's easily Joe Ryan. Like if Joe Ryan is just sitting out there available, he's giving
Joe
up
Ryan's
some barreled contact, but he's not walking, low 3 ERA. I mean, he's kind of a wizard. His velo is down this year, but he's still getting some solid results. I would make that move right now if Ryan's sitting out there. Not everybody gets that type of an option. That's great.
Turning our attention to the bullpen, the Yankees don't have a closer right now, or at least it's Luke Weaver, at least at the time being, because Devin Williams, he is not going to be closing for the New York Yankees, at least not for a little while. They've removed him from the closer role. So Luke Weaver, who's pitched very well this year, this was the big acquisition in the offseason, though. Welsh, this is what you wanted, right? You wanted to bring in the big elite closer because you figured you can't get that same production you got last year out of Luke Weaver at the end of the year. Clay Holmes struggled in the role last year for the Yankees. And Devin Williams, who once upon a time was about as good as it gets, that transition to New York has not been good. So do you think it's physical? Do you think it's mental? Do you think it's a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both. That's all good ways to put it. I was just really like honing in and peeking and seeing like what's different about him right now. He wasn't doing it a lot, but he was throwing like a little bit of a cutter, really, really minimally he threw last year. And I wonder if that would potentially help. Usage percentages around the same. The content and also like spin rates are roughly the same, but it's getting way less whiffs. It's getting hit across the board. 111 batting average against his four seam last year, 273 this year. Changeup 162, the airbender 462 this year. And there are some stuff differences when you look at it, like the induced movement has gone down on the changeup. So he's getting a little bit more horizontal break, but I think that's leading to more walks, and it's just getting not as much movement, which clearly looks like, whiff rates and hits and people are seeing it better. That ballpark doesn't really help. I look at all this and it's like, there's nothing in the profile outside of track record that makes you feel good. Expected ERA is almost 7. Walks are at 15, barrels up. Everything is really, really bad, but we have track record. The problem, Luke Weaver has been unhittable. He has been amazing. And he was actually like one of those guys. As soon as Devin Williams got drafted, we were like, throw that out, throw it all your best balls that you took Luke Weaver because he was amazing. I don't know if Luke Weaver can take the job and never let it go because of the value and the history of Devin Williams. But I also think there's a real chance that this could be much longer than we're expecting. Like this might take a while for Devin Williams to kind of find his feet, and there's just a lot of weirdness with it. And Luke Weaver is so good. I'm a little like you are better about this than jumping on these bigger situations than I am, especially with big track record. Like, I'm not worried about Class A like you were worried about Class A. I am worried about Devin Williams right now because I think Luke Weaver is going to make it very difficult to let go of this job right now. But I don't know what you do with Devin Williams. If you have him, I don't think you should trade. Like, what would you possibly trade for him? If he hits the wire, I would pick him up because he is so good. But it is a really bad quandary for people. And I saw in the chat, you guys that hate closers early, you're very vindicated. I've never been a big top 3 or 4 closer guy. I sold you guys all on Andres Munoz, and that is working out fantastic. Good. But the Class A's and the Devin Williams, they don't look good right now.
No, they do not. And I agree with you in this sense. I don't think it's going to be days. I think it's going to be more like weeks that he is going to be staying away from that role. So more to come. We'll see, maybe just a little breather from that, and we'll keep our eyes on it. But, maybe Devin Williams could use a bit of a pick-me-up. Maybe I'm thinking perhaps, he's had some rough outings in the bullpen. Something feels off, maybe his recovery in between his appearances hasn't quite been where it's supposed to be in terms of performance. They could be signs of low testosterone, a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America. And Kaisertrex is an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men possibly like you, or maybe Devin Williams. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. It's not an injection. It's not a gel. It's a twice daily pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle, helping restore your testosterone to optimal levels. So don't let low T hold you back. Visit Kaisertrex.com to learn more and find a provider near you who can help you get started. That's Kaisertrex.com, KYZATREX.com. Now it's by prescription only. Kaisertrex is a controlled substance that can be a target of abuse. Kaisertrex is not for the use of pregnant women or men with prostate or breast cancer. Safety and efficacy in those younger than 18 is not known. Who knows? Nobody knows. Tell your doctor about all the medical conditions and medicines that you're taking currently. Serious side effects do include increased blood pressure, which I have right now doing this read, worsening prostate symptoms, which I might also have during this read, increased risk of prostate cancer, blood clots, legs and lungs, potentially decreased sperm count, liver problems, and large or painful breasts, and breathing problems while you sleep. But common side effects, just the common ones: swelling of the ankles, feet, or body, increased red blood cell count, and increase in prostate-specific antigen or PSA levels. PSA is a test. Did you know this, Welsh? It's a test to detect prostate cancer. It's important. You should know this, and you should go get checked out. Everybody should do this. Report these symptoms to your doctor and call your doctor today to learn more about Kaisertrex. For questions and more information, visit Kaisertrex.com or call 1-833-949.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What now?
I was saying, I don't know if that was me or you, but it was right on. You were like, bruh. and it was right at the very end.
No, we're good. Young Mage, are we selling high on Torkelson? Yes, I got Christian Walker for him this morning. Heyo.
Oh, did you?
Let's
really?
go. Yes, I did. A lot of people asking about Ramirez too. Is the catcher legit? I've got William Contreras. Can I move on from him? I would be holding Contreras. Sometimes these guys come up and have big impacts. I like Ramirez. We've talked about him a lot on the show. I think if you have him, you're very excited. He went for a lot in my home league this week. I was so frustrated because I could have been ahead of the curve. I just did not think he was getting called up. He got called up on Monday, so I had to wait 7 days, and he's been so good. But Welsh, I would say legit, but like every young player, they're going to be struggles eventually. So just understand that.
Yeah, he's not going to hit 800. Breaking news. Like he's going, and he has some swing and miss in his game. He has some contact issues. I think he was hitting like 250 before he got called up. So he's going to come back down to earth a little bit, but the power is real. This is what I've tried to sell everybody on. Like it is consistent, strong, hard hit, average EV, max EV type of guy. I think he's a top 15 catcher right now. And it is a perfect example of like Wilson Contreras with the struggles versus Ramirez. I'm not going to let go of a guy like Contreras, especially, who's going to be playing first base, but I get it. And if you can hold Ramirez right now, that would be great, but I'm not cutting like big catching assets for him.
Langoliers or Ramirez rest of season?
I actually might cut like Langoliers ballpark is going to be so pretty, especially in the summer, that those guys might have similarities. I'm probably wanting Langoliers, but if Ramirez is still on the wire, maybe you could just cut him, pick up Ramirez for a little bit, and then bring Langoliers back if Ramirez starts struggling.
Rest of season, Weaver or Chapman? That's really interesting.
I mean, I'm going to go with Chapman, but if Weaver, this is my caveat here, have it both ways. If Weaver were to be the closer the rest of the season, Weaver. Hands down.
Here's another one too. 34-year-old Real Muto contract year is killing me. Well, look, he's one of my biggest fades coming into the year. Weren't you watching the shows then? Would you jump ship for Murphy or Alvarez? Yes, 100% for Alvarez. I'm an Alvarez guy. I'm a believer.
I'm fine with that.
All right, more news and notes, and then we're going to get to some prospect stuff here. Ketel Marte, friends with the Welsh. He went out and saw extended spring training. They went out for tacos afterwards. It was a good time. 2 homers. Eugenio Suarez said, "Hold my beer." He had 4 homers on Saturday in a game. Unbelievable. Jack Leiter, he came back. But which Jack did we get, Welsh? We got the one who walked 4 3 1/3. Now, I know people are going to say, well, he's coming back from the IL and all these excuses. And here we go again, making excuses for Jack Leiter and a couple good starts. And everybody told me I had to eat it. And I said, how many starts? 6. Give me 6 in a row, and then I'll believe it. So we're back at square one. We've gone back to 0. Welsh, any thoughts quickly on the Jack Leiter start from yesterday? That was no bueno.
Yeah, quite a few things I actually need to do here. First, I want to shout out our boy Braxton. Just rated the channel here, so people can rate in. So 300 plus in here. Shout out to Braxton for rating the channel. We love you. We love you, brother, and all the new people hanging with us. Also, completely blowing through my Ketel Marte stuff. Just want to throw out Ketel Marte is with the team now. That one game he played in extended spring training. Go to my Twitter right now. Well, maybe after the show, hit 2 homers in the game that I was watching. Beautiful, looks ready, ran the bases, played the field, and he's going to be back this week. He's going to be playing with Philly, so got to share that with you guys this week. And go check out those homers to make you feel good. And then on the Jack Leiter thing, Jack Leiter is going to be okay. You're an anti-Jack Leiter guy. I think Leiter is we're going to be okay with the stuff. I'm still on the strikeouts. Kumar is out. Leiter is in. That's where I'm sitting, baby.
All right. Well, just think he's a Nepo baby who's overrated. That's it. Maybe he's the Shedeur Sanders of the Major League Baseball scene. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, he's definitely not the Shedeur Sanders. Jack Leiter didn't go into the 5th round, or I don't know, listen to headphones while he was in his interview.
Maybe he should have been humbled. Maybe. I don't know. Yordan Alvarez, 2 for 4 with a walk, so he started to turn things around. That's good news. So a homer, 3 ribbies for him. That is good. And Agustin Ramirez, 2 for 5, a pair of solo dingers on Sunday. So things are going well, but unfortunately, the Marlins lost anyway, which brings us to one of our favorite segments we do every single Monday. It's time for Prospecting with the Welsh. That's when our good friend, the Welsh, goes and tells you about some of the prospects in Major League Baseball. Going to make some impacts for you on your fantasy team sooner than later. And Welsh, one of these guys you're going to talk about in Tampa, 2 weeks ago, I did a full segment on. So I'm very glad that you are coming around on this player too. Plus, we've got the big prospect watch we're on. Last week, we're on Nick Kurtz watch. This week, it's Bubba watch. I think we need that,
we are
Law
on
and Order theme there.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. There it is.
Dun, dun,
Bubba watch.
dun, dun. We are officially on Bubba Chandler watch after 5 starts. It's kind of been a story we've been telling over the last couple of weeks. I've been building you guys up to what I thought. The last start I told you was the could go either way start. Maybe if they really wanted to push something, he could come up. I kind of think on how things were going, he was going to get that start. So I am saying is like, I really think his next start should be in the majors, which would line him up for this week. But we do not have that information. We'll see, but that's why we're on Bubba Watch. 1.33 ERA over 5 starts. He has a 0.64 whip right now. And I've really liked the pitch mix changes we've seen. I think it was a start ago. We saw the changeup usage go way up. It was like in the 20% over the slider. That was versus the first start, which it was like first couple starts was fastball, slider. Then this last start where I believe he gave up 1 hit, walk. He did hit 2 batters, but walked none. 4 strikeouts. We saw the curveball go up more and the changeup. So he was a real true 4-pitch mix. He's healthy. He looks good. We're officially on Bubba Chandler watch. I would pick him up this week if he is floating in your leagues because he's going to be a top wire guy. And look what happened with Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz, he came up on a Tuesday and everyone had to wait a whole week for Fab. Get him now if you have the ability because it should be this start or at worst next week. No more wasted bullets. Bubba Chandler watch has officially begun.
Good times there. Hopefully things continue to go in the right direction for the Pirates. God forbid they go get some offense soon. Anyway, let's talk about Roman Anthony because he has absolutely been on fire as well. Last 15 days, the OPS is through the roof. He is really knocking at the door. So the problem is, are the Red Sox going to start letting him in, Welsh?
That I don't know. And he's the trickiest of the trickies right now with Roman Anthony because I think I have an article coming up this week, if you guys want to check it out on FantasyPros, of the 5 prospects to stash and 5 that are deeper. And I wrote in this, April 10th, Roman Anthony had a 167, 178 average, something around there. As of today, it's over 300. He's hitting 313. So he has really figured out the level, which is fantastic. Strikeouts seem to be going away. The bat is flying. He's hitting homers. He's doing all the things he's got to do. But where does he play? And that's the mystery of all of that. And I think it's even a little bit wonkier because Christian Campbell kind of stinks at second base. So if they were to make a move, I think the most likely, but he's hitting too well. The likely situation would be Campbell to the outfield and Marcelo Meyer would come in and play like a second base. And that even more muddies the water for Roman Anthony. So can they figure it out? Like, sure, they can, but Wilyer is too good. Campbell could be in the outfield. Obviously, you have Duran, and then Devers is locked into the DH spot. I really don't know where he is, but he is the top hitting prospect that is sitting out there in the wings. If you have the stomach to store him, you should, because he'll be a top full-on waiver wire guy, but there is no like perceivable timetable for what it is, but he's hitting really well. And I think he could come up at any time if someone were to get injured. Yeah. I didn't even say Rafaela. There's just so many guys that are out there. I don't know how they get him in.
I stashed Meyer in my home league over the weekend, not Mike Meyer, Marcelo Meyer. Because
clearly
nobody wants to stash Mike Meyer,
No.
but I did for that very reason too. Another guy who's tearing it up the last 2 weeks. And I almost feel like his path, because of Campbell's been a little flat lately, could be easier, or maybe, because Campbell does have that position flexibility where he can move them all over, give some guys some breaks, all that stuff. It's going to be a very complicated situation, but eventually it's going to work out. Eventually you can't keep him down too much longer. We're probably going to get him by Memorial Day, if not sooner. Let's talk about Cade Horton, Chicago Cubs prospect here, who right now currently is sitting on a AAA ERA of 106 over his first 17 innings, 23 strikeouts. Now, he does have 11 walks. That's a bit of a problem. That walk rate is far too high. Is he a legitimate option here to help the Chicago Cubs rotation, or is this maybe pushing a kid a little too far, a little too fast, and could it stunt his growth?
The only thing that's pushing him too far is the missed time. He's had just like a lot of injuries as of recent. But he used to be one of the top prospects out there. His fastball velo is back. I want to say last year it was around like the 94 range. It's up at 96. The command is a little bit shaky right now, but they're stretching up the innings. The strikeouts can be there with the pitch mix. The fastball is back up. And, Colin Ray has been great. surprisingly. But Ben Brown has not been. Ben Brown in that rotation has got like a 6 ERA. So I think they could make a move soon because Cade Horton has been, outside of the walks, has been like absolutely dominant in the minors. So I think, he's not like a must go and run and pick up, but he is potential streamer that could stay into that rotation. I think we need to pay attention to him. He's in between that gap of when we talked about JT Ginn on this episode, on this show, and Bubba Chandler. Like he's in the middle ground here where if you're in a deeper league and you could stash him, I do think he gets an opportunity soon.
Next up on the list, staying with the Chicago Cubs, let's talk about a catching prospect.
Mosies Ballesteros. As I write in the article, it's hard for a team to hold down a prospect that's hitting over 400, especially a catcher. So how long can you do it? The Cubs are currently testing it because Mosies Ballesteros is one of the hottest hitters out there. He's hitting over 400, pretty good behind the plate as well. Could be another jolt for that offense. The Cubs made some weird moves here or there that I think we should get him up. The only problem is like how many young catchers do they want to bring up? But Ballesteros, physically maybe like a little bit behind from an athletic standpoint, but it is a huge live bat hitting over 400 in AAA. And I think in 2 catcher leagues, if he is called up, you should pick him up immediately. And he might put himself in a Agustin Ramirez type of range in like a 15 team eligible if and when he gets called up. So pay attention to Mosies Ballesteros.
Now, the guy that I'm really excited about is Ian Seymour. That's the Tampa Bay starting pitcher. 25 innings so far, 2.49 ERA, a 1.18 whip, 35 strikeouts in 25 innings, just 7 walks. This is one that I think we got to start pressing here a little bit. I talked about him a couple weeks ago because he came out of the gates hot, and he has still been red hot, Welsh.
He was in my article last 2 weeks ago. So I do it every 2 weeks. If you guys want to check it out, I've got the 5, and then guys you should pay attention to. Ian Seymour was there. He is back again. And it's like you said, he's been dominant. The negative is that rotation is really full with the Rays. And we also saw like Joe Boyle come up. So he wasn't the first guy. The positive is Ian Seymour right now has, I believe he is either the leader or top 1 or 2 in AAA for K- walk percentage and swinging strike rate and strikeouts. Like he has been a strikeout monster, and you really want to pay attention to like swinging strike rate and K- walk percentage as well. But his K percentage is like 35%, some crazy number. Swinging strike rate is the best I think in AAA. That if he gets an opportunity, the Rays, they do their voodoo magic sometimes. He's a guy that is on no radars. Deeper league should pay attention to. It's just like how does he get there based on this rotation? Injuries will probably put him on the docket, but put a little pin and a watch list on Ian Seymour.
All right, everybody, that's Prospecting with the Welsh. Remember, you can always go to FantasyPros.com to read more about the prospects that Welsh is looking at. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros MLB, for more great fantasy baseball content. All right, let's get to Braction. Thanks for the raid, Braction, helping us out, getting a lot of people watching live. So Braction's in a tough spot. Very active 12-person league here and looking for SP sleepers to scoop up. Now, I mentioned Emerson Hancock earlier with the Seattle Mariners. Obviously, some rotation spots between Kirby and Gilbert have opened up.
Uh-oh. Is that Joey?
Whoa, dude.
Chaos. What happened? That was crazy.
The raid broke it. I thought it was just me freezing like always, but I guess it was everything happened there. Anyway, let's go back to the question for a moment. So the question is, looking for some SP sleepers to scoop up off the waiver wire. Logan Evans, Emerson Hancock, those are 2 that come to mind very quickly. Others looking around there, I assume in this league, the way they're discussing it, that Griffin Canning is already way gone. Irvin coming off a really good start this weekend. Abbott is still 60% rostered. So I would have thought that would have been more by now. Welsh, any other names you can think of? Here's another one, too, I would throw out there. We're going to talk about it later. If Yuri Perez is still out there, he's actually starting to throw already. He looks like he is starting
rehab assignment, not just throwing. He's starting a rehab
assignment. That's actually what I have in the notes there. So that timetable's moved up a lot. That's a guy that I would pick up immediately and stash. Seymour, another guy we just discussed. Welsh, any hidden gems on that waiver wire and pitchers that maybe in a deeper league someone could pick up and get along with?
Yeah, I don't know if like Reese Olson is still out there. There's some low percentages and combined ESPN Yahoo. It's like just over 20%.
Tobias Myers too, just at 39% on CBS. I'm looking. That's another name too.
Yeah, I that's a good one. Tyler Anderson. I mean, those guys are like semi-productive, but they just got like low ownership percentages.
Yeah.
Those would be two I would be looking at right now. And Bubba Chandler. But if you have a super active league and you want to get ahead of the curve, Bubba Chandler should be up. So Braxton, that would be a big one I would look at if people have been letting him sit by because it is super active league and maybe people don't want to have that bench spot taken down. I would pick him up this week if that call happens. So go and take a look at him. And he also said Irvin and Abbott out of the group you mentioned. I like Irvin as well. Players, so it's clearly on waivers. Holding Bubba at the moment. He is holding Bubba. Abbott, I really like Abbott in that one with the strikeout. So that's those are good ones.
It's time for our favorite segment, Accountabilibuddies, where we hold ourselves accountable for our takes. We had a big argument the other day about Kevin Gausman and Tommy Edman, and they both suck. Kevin Gausman was getting really squeezed in that, and he was not happy. He got ejected from the game, and then he fell down the stairs after he got ejected. I don't know if you saw that. It was like,
what? Did he really?
Oh, yeah. He was in the dugout, and he's screaming at the umpire. He's walking down the dugout, screaming at the umpire, and then falls down, disappears down the stairs. So he's all right. It's just funny. It was like that book, The Terrible, Horrible, No Good Day. That's what Kevin Gausman had. But Tommy Edman's hitting $158 since that conversation that we had about Tommy Edman. So I just want to throw that out there. And Kyron Paris, who didn't start Friday or Saturday. Well, he started Sunday, and he went another 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. He is now 0 for his last 24. So I hate to say I told you so, but that'd be a lie. I love saying it.
Oh, that's your favorite thing.
All right, let's get to the next part of our show, the 3 up and the 3 down. We have Aaron Judge, 8th home run of the season. Skubal was brilliant, 11 strikeouts. And Joe Ryan, 11 strikeouts over the weekend as well on Sunday. The downs, Max Meyer, who had been riding high, gave up 4 walks, gave up 5 runs, 5 hits in 4 innings. Not the best start for him. Jeffrey Springs, oh, this one hurts, Welsh. I know you love Springs. 7 runs, 5 earned, 4 strikeouts. And it was against the White Sox. Like, it's not a good lineup. So I can imagine him getting dropped to the waiver wire everywhere. The names we just mentioned, all viable in this circumstance. And then Randy Vasquez, just 4 2/3 innings. When does he get bumped from this rotation? Because this Padres team is for real. And if so, who would be the replacement in that rotation?
Well, it's when they have a guy. The problem is, it's a great question. Like, when will they move off of him? Well, guess what? All the guys are here. They have they almost have a major league lineup that they could run out on the IL that are not playing in games that are out here in Arizona. You've got Darvish, you've got Musgrove, you've got Matt Waldron that is out here. Johnny Brito is out here. I mean, all of the depth in the minor leagues is hurt and out here in Arizona. Darvish is still quite a bit away. By the way, they also have Jake Cronenworth, Luis Ariz, Jackson Merrill, Lockridge. Like, they're all hurt. So when does he get bumped? When they find some depth. They unfortunately also traded away. It's funny. Adam Mazer, not the CBS guy, but the pitcher. He is with the Marlins. They traded away.
Adam Mazer.
Yeah, Adam Mazer. He's really good right now with the Marlins. He would have been a guy they would put in depth. Robbie Snelling, who they traded, who is looking phenomenal again. That would have been a guy. They traded away all of their great young depth. So he's going to be stuck in there until you get one of these guys like Darvish coming back. So hopefully we get any of them relatively soon, or they're going to have to make some depth trades. Padres love to make moves.
Maybe. Bubba or Zebby? Who do you want?
Bubba.
Okay.
Bubba's going to be up before Zebby at this point.
Agreed. David, question here. Michael Harris, I traded for Cole Reagans and head-to-head. Yeah, real good trade. I'm all for that one.
Love that.
As he's all healthy. That's all you need there. All right, let's get to the injuries. Ranger Suarez, 78 pitches, 4th minor league rehab start. We expect him back this week, probably Friday is what they're targeting for him. Clayton Kershaw, maybe Saturday. Clayton Kershaw, the toe, knee, all that stuff. The old age made another minor league rehab start.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
So he's going to be starting Tuesday and Sunday. Jackson Merrill finally, this morning I got up and I got Merrill on a team. Like, when are we going to hear anything about Jackson Merrill? It's been radio silence. Finally, some news. Took BP on Sunday at Petco Park. That's a good sign. And then, as I mentioned, Yuri Perez and Welsh said the rehab start for High A Jupiter on Saturday just happened through scoreless hitting, 2 strikeouts. So I couldn't believe we got there this quickly for rehab start. So if he already made a rehab start Saturday, it's going to be a much longer ramp up because he's a younger player, right? So let's see. Let's look ahead, shall we, Welsh? Over under May 21st, seeing Yuri Perez in the rotation.
Over. I think it's going to be after that. I think you're looking at like at least 5 starts in the minors. Like this is his spring training. So spring training, maybe some guys only do 2 or 3. So yeah, give me, I mean, I guess that's 20 more. I mean, I guess it pushes it close to that, but I'm going to say
that's 21 days plus the rest of this week.
I'm going to say he starts after that, though. I think maybe they push one more start, or the call up is in between that period. So I think the over is the play here.
All right, very good. But good news. We love good news.
Yeah,
you know what else we like? Good bets. It's time, everybody, for the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. And remember, everybody, Betting Pros free trial is still available. Use the promo code leading off. Download the Betting Pros app. Use the promo code leading off. You get 7 days free of the best tools in the nation. So the tools are out there free, but the premium tools, those are the best ones. And you get all of them for 7 days for free. Check them out right now and use that promo code leading off when you do. Also, let's talk about my bets here for the New York Yankees today on the road, -118 against the Orioles. They stink. Orioles pitching staff is terrible. Worst in baseball still in ERA. So give me the New York Yankees. Will Warren on the mound. I think we can get enough out of them. And the Yankee bats looking pretty good over the weekend. I think that carries over quite a bit. Sagano on the mound. I don't have much faith in him. So give me the Yankees on the road for an upset. You get pretty good juice on here, -118. That's decent enough. You get some Atlanta Braves and Rockies. The total for this game is already 10.5 because Bryce Elder and Felder are on the mound. Yikes. 10.5 is pushing that total. I want to go over it. I still think it can go over, but instead I'm just going to turn my attention to 2 players in that game. Matt Olson to drive in a run at +100, and Jordan Beck, who's also been on quite a hot streak, to score a run. Just score a run, Jordan Beck. That's all you got to do. +100 for me. So those are my best bets for Monday. Welsh, what are yours?
Elder and Felder and Blaze and
Blazer and Laser.
Blazer and Laser. All right, so bets, we are going Dustin May over 5.5 strikeouts. The last start wasn't super great, but Marlins bottom 5 in the league in strikeouts per game in general. So Dustin May gets back on his horse. We're going with the strikeouts. One of the top prop plays on the Betting Pros cheat sheet. If you guys want to go and check it out over on Betting Pros, which I highly suggest you do, you can go download the app for free. You can peruse all the great stuff on the cheat sheet. And if you sign up for premium, which you get a 7-day free trial if you want to do it, you can get access to all the great information, the breakdowns, you get, EV, and you get odds percentages, all this great stuff here. One of the top plays of the day is Francisco Lindor total bases over. So I'm going to tail it. I like it. Lindor over 1.5 total bases. And I'm going to go Atlanta run line 1.5. As you mentioned, a high scoring game. Not that I think that Bryce Elder is very good, but I think Atlanta is going to stack up some runs. So we're going to have Atlanta winning by 2 against the Rockies. So May strikeouts, Lindor total bases, Atlanta run line. Let's go.
That's right. And we've also got a special deal going on too. If you go to fantasypros.com/leading off, new customers there on FanDuel, you bet your $5, you get 250 in bonus bets if that bet wins. So you can go ahead and get that one on there as well. Let's look at the home run board over the weekend. I got one from Santander. Yay, I'm up to 4. Hey. Still nowhere near the leaderboard. Welsh out of the top 10. Curses. Marty up to 14. Razor up to 14. Welsh on the second side of the board. Not great. So that's no fun. The Sammy Sosa jersey's going to the winner. I saw somebody ask earlier, where do I go to make home run calls? You go to our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. That's where you go. And you go to the home run channel. And if you are someone who is subbing here over at Twitch, you get access to that channel without being premium on FP. So go ahead and do it because it's good for you. That's why. Also, I want to shout out someone joining us for the first time. 5 is here. First time getting here when live. Loving the show, guys. Usually listen on Spotify. Well, thanks, 5. We appreciate you hanging out with us live. I love when people check it out, hang out with us, get on the show. Here's a question from Young Mage, too. Thoughts on big homie Royce Lewis coming back from injury soon? Well, he's just going to be back on injury again soon enough. So.
Don't hold your breath. I mean, he'll come back, but,
if he even makes it there.
Hold your breath.
If he even makes it there. Anyway, over under from over under 30 games for Royce Lewis.
I mean, I'm going to go with the over, but yeah, I'm optimistic.
Jeez. Yeah. And I'm usually pessimistic, but 30 is pretty low. All right. Home run call for me. I keep going back and forth on mine. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick with Matt Olson. I was going to say Juan Soto against his old team, which means he'll probably hit a home run. But I'm going to go with Matt Olson. Mets blew a terrible game yesterday, too. Oh, God, make it throw up in your mouth. Matt Olson plus 285 in Colorado. Let's go. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call?
I'm going to join you in the same game. I'm just going to go with Austin Riley. Austin Riley also, I mean, it's not like ironic, but it's just like, total bases. He's one of the top guys. Homers, he's further down on the list, though. Over on FanDuel, it was almost 4-1 if you wanted to bet the home run call for Austin Riley. But I'm going to go with Riley on the plus 390 for a home run today. I don't even think I had a home run call for the last couple of days because I was out. So giving you a little bit more traction to catch up, but I'm ready to jump back up that board, baby.
Yes. Don't look now, though. If I get another couple this week, next thing you know, I'm up to 7 or 8. Next thing you know,
then you're there.
I'm right there. And I give everybody a head start. Great show today. Great to see everybody in the chat, too. Huge number today, too. Thanks for Braxton. Am I saying
Laser.
it right? Teaser. No, Braxton.
And if people don't know, on Twitch, like Braxton obviously is a streamer you can go and check out. And then when he got off his channel, you can raid, and he brought his channel over here. So we appreciate that and all the people hanging.
You see, you're teaching the old man new things. I don't even know. Like this thing happened, and all of a sudden I'm looking around trying to figure out what's going on there. So Braxton, you're good peoples as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what Welsh says about you. I like you. Great show. Great job by Michael Calley, our producer, as always today. And we love hanging out with all of you. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the season. We could do it with your help. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Later. Poor Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis and Tyler Glasnow. Can you imagine that on the same fantasy team?
Can you imagine having your name have glass in it and you're that injured?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Hi, I'm Joe, always hurt.